PM orders speeding up 86 key transport projects.
Zoning 3 urban development areas of Vinh City in the future.
Positive signals from the Israel-Hamas ceasefire agreement.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I am Hinh, and here we go, the first headline of the show. On the morning of November 25th, the Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, who is also head of the steering committee for key national transport projects, just chaired the 8th session of the committee on speeding up 86 key transport projects.
As reported, there are 34 key projects being put under the direction of the steering committee, including 86 component projects, 5 railway projects and 2 airport projects. The rest are expressways. These projects expand to 45 provinces and cities. At the meeting, the Prime Minister said that the government will authorize provinces and centrally run cities to act as investors for key transport projects through the area. This move aims to enhance the investment capacity for major projects as well as to strengthen the responsibility and creativity of localities in project implementation.
Meanwhile, the People's Committee of Nghệ An Province has issued a decision approving the Vinh City Development Plan until 2030 with a vision to 2050. The decision aims at specializing the direction on developing Vinh City according to the overall provincial plan approved by the Prime Minister.
Based on the adjustment of Vinh City's overall plan, the urban area will be divided into 3 regions. The first region includes the existing Vinh City, Galatau, and 4 communes in Yellow District. Its function is to serve as the economic, cultural, educational and science tech hub of the North Central region. It is also the driving force for the province's economic growth and an important gateway to the North Central region and the country. The second region includes Quan Hinh Town and several communes in Yellow District as an industrial center and a transportation hub for goods, new urban areas and green buffer zones connecting different key centers of Vinh City. The third region covers Hinh Nguyên Town and some communes in Hinh Nguyên District as an open area of Southeast Economic Zone, as well as an industrial, urban and service area.
After 7 weeks of intense conflict, the Israeli army and Hamas Islamic movement in Gaza just entered the first day of ceasefire with positive signs, including the release of many hostages and large quantity of humanitarian airflow into Gaza.
As told by the International Red Cross Committee, 24 hostages were freed by Hamas in the first day of truce, including 13 Israeli women and children. Their release came after 10 Thais and 1 Filipino were also freed by Hamas. Israel in its turn also released 39 Palestinians. More captives are expected to be freed in the next days. The first ceasefire day also saw 196 trucks carrying humanitarian aid, including food, water, and medical supplies, crossing the Rafah border, the most aid to Gaza since Israel-Hamas conflict in early October. But the war is likely far from over as both sides declared their intention to resume military operations after ceasefire.
Upcoming next are some updated news.
As of mid-November 2023, the VSIP Nghệ An Industrial Park has attracted 42 investors with 43 projects, leasing a total of 237.94 hectares of land. Occupancy rate reached 95%. Furthermore, in addition to the occupancy rate, the park is expected to attract over 60,000 local workers once all the factories to be put into operation. At the moment, 41 projects have been granted with investment certificates, of which 27 projects are under operation, providing jobs for nearly 16,000 local workers. The total investment of the industrial park reaches $1,457.3 million.
A recent survey on tobacco use showed a significant increase in the use of e-cigarettes among students over the past 3 years. In 2022, 3.5% of students aged 13 to 15 used e-cigarettes, while this number, among students aged 15 to 17 in 2019, was 2.6%. To ensure the health of students, the Ministry of Education and Training has approved a guidance document on integrating tobacco harm prevention and control into high school lessons and educational activities. Ukraine has launched a large-scale attack using unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, on the Crimean Peninsula. However, the Russian Ministry of Defense stated that these attacks have failed. According to the Russian statement, their air defense units shot down 16 Ukrainian UAVs, including 13 in Crimea and 3 in the Volgograd region in the south of Russia. Russian air defense forces also shot down 12 unmanned aerial vehicles in the Donetsk region, repelled 2 Ukrainian attacks near Klesheyevka, and destroyed several storage equipment facilities of Ukraine. The city of Avdiivka in eastern Ukraine also endured intense bombardment by Russian forces, in an attempt to gain control of the city, with 40 bombing raids per day.
Let's move to today's story. In recent years, flood flow has caused erosion in many areas along Lam River in Ancient District, Nghệ An province, posing serious threat to residential land and houses and affecting the lives, production activities of over 40 households in Cam Thang hamlet, Cam Sơn Camille.
The family of Nguyễn Văn Long is one of the dozens of households that have settled in Cam Thang hamlet, Cam Sơn Camille, since 1988. As a fisherman on the river, he cannot help but worry seeing the rivers moving closer to the back of his house. Long said before his house used to be hundreds of meters away from the river, but now it is only a few dozen meters.
Sometimes when it rains heavily, land erosion is 10 to 15 meters a year, otherwise several meters. In stormy season, we are very worried, but we don't know what to do because we are not able to handle it.
The southern bank of Lam River in Cam Thang hamlet, Cam Sơn Camille, is over 2,000 meters long with an average depth of about 25 meters. Recent flood seasons have eroded about 36 hectares of agricultural land and now pose a serious threat to the land and houses of over 40 households. Even more, this erosion area is only about 50 meters away from National Highway 7A.
In stormy season, we must send officials to be on duty in areas with a high risk of landslides, and have a plan to move people out of risky areas to a safe place. We really want that the functional sectors help the commune to build an embankment to prevent erosion of Lam River.
In response to the people's desire, the People's Committee of Ancient District has submitted a proposal for the construction of embankments to prevent erosion along the section of Lam River passing through Cam Sơn Camille. The Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has unveiled a document referring the construction project of 2,000-meter embankment with an estimated budget of 120 billion VND. However, this project has not been implemented. The local residents are still eagerly waiting for an urgent project to reduce loss of property, crops, and to stabilize their lives.
Last story, it has ended our program today. Thank you so much for your attention. Have a nice weekend and see you next time.